bringing you the best news stories from our region and the state.
Tonight, flood-hit towns in southern Queensland declared a disaster zone. Mass evacuations underway in parts of central Queensland. And the holiday road toll climbs after another horrific crash. Good evening, I'm Samantha Heathwood and welcome to our special summer edition. Much of southern Queensland has been declared a disaster zone as floodwaters wreak havoc. Hundreds of people remain trapped by rising floods. Reporter Daniel Circum begins our coverage of the flood-devastated regions. Meanwhile, in the central Queensland town of Theodore, evacuations have begun as the Dawson River reaches its highest ever levels. Rockhampton is under threat of being cut off in every direction as the Fitzroy continues to rise. In Mackay, residents have spent the past few days cleaning up from wild weather that included a mini tornado. Boats were overturned, power was cut and roofs lifted off houses as some people had a Christmas they'll never forget. Stay with Win. Coming up, retailers hit the jackpot as post-Christmas sales draw record crowds, and then families celebrate Christmas with a very special delivery. Welcome back, you're watching Win News. The Bligh government has slammed the state opposition, claiming it would let snapper stocks be fished to extinction. It comes just a few months before a complete ban on snapper fishing will take place, while new regulations are developed. Townsville Base Hospital was kept busy on Christmas Day with plenty of new arrivals. From early in the morning until late at night, the maternity ward and birthing suites delivered 11 newborns, including twins. A baby boom. Coming up in sport, the North Queensland Fury denied a last-minute win in Townsville, and Australia fights to stay in the fourth Ashes cricket test. Welcome back, you're watching Win Sport. Australia's been dealt another major blow in the Ashes with Queensland paceman Ryan Harris breaking down while bowling on the third day of the fourth test. England set a mammoth target of 513 runs before lunch. Aussie openers Phil Hughes and Shane Watson responded with a flurry of runs, scoring an average of 5 runs per over. But it didn't take long for the wickets to tumble.
The first wicket goes down. And it is a run out. Can you believe that?
Phil Hughes was run out for 23. He was replaced by captain Ricky Ponting, who received a rousing reception from the Melbourne crowd. But England's bowling attack was too good. Ponting bowled out for 20.
He could have done a lot of different things. He could have played it better. There's that angled bat. The way he's playing, he's not in his best form. There's no doubt about that.
Australia was 6 for 169 at stumps. The North Queensland Fury finals hopes are on life support after suffering a heartbreaking 1-1 draw with the Wellington Phoenix in Townsville last night. Tempers flared late in the game after the Fury were denied the match winner, with replays showing the ball clearly crossing the goal line. And that's the night in sport. Stay with Win. Peter Byrne's in next with all the weather details.
Good evening, Weather Watchers. Peter Byrne bringing you this weather from Mackay. The critical flood situation in Queensland most likely has overshadowed the fact that Mackay late Christmas morning was hit by a tornado. Winds gusting in excess of 120 kilometres an hour, partially unroofed several houses with considerable tree damage. Now, this sort of thing is certainly not uncommon, particularly with those convergent cloud bands feeding into a tropical cyclone. The first segment this evening is rainfall registrations for the 24 hours to 9 a.m. Tuesday. The highest recording occurred at Beckers. Now that's to the northeast of Barralabar in central Queensland and the Dawson River, with a flood fall of 173 millimetres. Other heavy falls included Bundaberg with 165 millimetres, Pittsworth on the Downs with 114 and Toomulla Beach to the north of Townsville with 85 millimetres. Our second page of listings included Mount Garnet to the west of Cairns with 78 millimetres, Mackay 61, Caloundra Airport on the Sunshine Coast 60, Toowoomba 43, with lighter falls from Proserpine north to Cairns. For today's temperatures, we travel north to south across eastern Queensland. Muggy maximums across the north of the state were close to the December average, whilst all areas south of about Mackay recorded maxima well below the average due to rain and cloud cover. Toowoomba's maximum of just 21 degrees was very, very pleasant. The best rainfall recording for the 6 hours to 3 p.m. was 51 millimetres at Shoalwater Bay and Maryborough. In the south, Noosa Heads on the Sunshine Coast recorded 42 millimetres. Further north, Harvey Bay 39 millimetres. Flood-bound Rockhampton 13. Dow's Creek in the Pioneer Valley, that's just to the west of Mackay, 19, with 30 to 40 millimetres to the west of the Innisfail area. Now, rainfall registrations for the 6 hours to 3 p.m. were restricted to the far east of Queensland. Today's national satellite picture indicated extensive cloud over northern Australia associated with the monsoon trough, whilst cloud over eastern Queensland is associated with a moist, unstable atmosphere combined with a surface and upper atmospheric trough. The Queensland satellite picture at 3 o'clock this afternoon highlighted the heavy rain areas through the Shoalwater Bay to the Wide Bay area. Thunderstorms were operating in the Mackay district and offshore from the Bowen area. Most of western Queensland was free of significant cloud this afternoon. Today's chart, the monsoon trough lies across northern Australia. Of particular interest to Queensland is the surface trough. Now that's lying across the coast near Yeppoon in central Queensland. This trough marks the northern boundary of fresh, cooler southeast winds affecting most of Queensland. This trough will move north over the next few days, triggering areas of thunderstorms with associated heavy rain as the southeast wind surge extends north along the tropical coast. Further south, conditions will gradually become more stable with a trend towards reduced rainfall. To the forecast now for northern Queensland: scattered showers, isolated thunderstorms, light to moderate northeast to northwest winds, and for Thursday, showers and thunder bumpers. For central areas of the state, rain areas and thunderstorms, easing later Wednesday over the Capricornia district. Northwest winds shifting southeast as the trough advances north. For Thursday, a few showers with isolated thunderstorms. For southern Queensland, rain areas clearing the Wide Bay region overnight, otherwise a few showers persisting, light to moderate southeast winds, and the outlook at this stage for Thursday, isolated showers. That serious flood situation will continue throughout Queensland, but the area of heaviest rain tonight I think will be concentrated in the Mackay area. Sam, it's now back to you.
Thanks, Pete. Join us tomorrow night for the best hour of news from 6 p.m. From all the team, have a great night.
This has been a Win News presentation from Win Television, Australia's largest commercial television network.